I'd like to call the regular village board meeting to order. Let the record reflect, it is Tuesday, December 15th, 2020 at 7:34 p.m. This meeting is being conducted pursuant to the Governor Pritzker's Disaster Proclamation and Public Act 101-0640, which amends requirements of the Open Meetings Act due to the COVID-19 pandemic. Pursuant to the same, the village board finds that it would be impractical to conduct an in-person meeting with all members present. I would ask at this time that the elected officials confirm that they can hear one another. President Vandenberg. Absent. Clerk Therian.
I can hear you.
Trustee Berg.
I can hear you.
Trustee Brady.
Loud and clear.
What? Trustee Brennan.
I can hear you.
Trustee Galante.
I can hear.
I can hear myself. Trustee Mueller.
I can hear you.
All the materials for these meetings are on the village website. We recommend the members and the public follow the agenda as posted. After members have spoken, I will afford public comment as follows. Once I, the chair, have a list of all public commenters, I will call on each person present at the meeting and afford them 3 minutes for their comment. Further time, up to an additional 3 minutes, may be granted by a motion of the village board. The public was also provided the opportunity to submit a request until noon today by email to the clerk's office at tinleypark.org or by placing the written request in the drop box at Village Hall to participate publicly via a live telephone call at the relevant portion of the public meeting. The public was provided the opportunity to submit written comments until noon today by emailing their public comments to the clerk's office at tinleypark.org or by placing their written comment in the drop box at Village Hall. Written comments will not be read aloud. And finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. At this time, let us begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Attendance roll call. Trustee Berg.
Here.
Trustee Brady.
Here.
Trustee Brennan.
Here.
Trustee Galante.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Glutz.
Present.
Trustee Mueller.
Here.
President Vandenberg. Absent.
Motion carries. Item number 2. Consider approval of the minutes of the regular village board meeting held on December 1st, 2020. Do I have a motion?
Are we doing the agenda?
Yeah, the agenda first.
Yeah, you skipped over item 1.
Oh, sorry. Item number 1, consider approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glutz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 2, consider approval of the minutes of the regular village board meeting held on December 1st, 2020.
I'll make that motion. Second.
Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glutz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Thank you. Item carries. Item number 3, receive a special presentation of the Tinley Park Business Spotlight. The following Tinley Park business will be Rizza Cadillac. Rizza Cadillac Buick GMC at 8425 159th Street. Rizza Cadillac has been in Tinley Park since the year 2000. They currently have 85 employees, and that doesn't include all the other dealerships. Please join me in welcoming Dan McMillan of Rizza Cadillac, which I don't think he needs an introduction.
Well, everyone needs an introduction, but am I,
It's all yours.
okay. I mean, sometimes when you get up here, you have to give your name and your birth date and all that, but I'm okay. Okay, so I'm honored to be here. I
That's
just want to
Orland.
say that. I really am. I think it's great that you're introducing this. This is something I haven't seen in some of the other villages. Just recognizing, not just because we sponsor, and not just because we've been here for 80 years, though it does seem like we've been here for that long. But it's something that we've been here a long time. We now have the spotlight, and let's talk a little bit, and I'll keep it brief because it is more difficult to talk. You're probably lucky that we have these masks on because it's more difficult to talk, so I'll keep it brief. But what we really appreciate is the opportunity to do business in a town that is business friendly. In Tinley Park, and we have some comparisons. We've done business in some other towns. The town just to the west of you or northwest of you doesn't quite get it. They talk like they're going to streamline, but when we've done business here in Tinley Park and different projects, your planning commission, you do very, very well. You're rational, you're logical. So let's talk a little bit about the history of RZA Buick GMC Cadillac. Now, the current dealership is the result of an ongoing 28-year evolution that goes all the way back to 1992. And then even further back go the roots of 8425 West 159th Street. As you know, we are located on 159th Street. I like to talk about the history of the great auto row of 159th, which was started by an amazing individual, and I don't know how many of you can remember him, Mr. Al Johnson, who was the first African-American to be awarded a General Motors franchise, and he opened up Al Johnson Cadillac in 1972 on 159th Street. So he was the pioneer. I think Apple, who's been a spotlight, came not long after him. But Al Johnson was the first on the street. If you can believe it, there were no other car dealerships on the street back in 1972 when he came. Actually, there wasn't even an Orland Park Mall at that point. There wasn't, and this town was that much smaller. But when he operated the Cadillac dealership until 1992, and then he decided to sell it. And then that's when we came in, and we had negotiations with Al, and we had a buy-sell agreement. We were purchasing Al's business, and lo and behold, General Motors stepped in at the last minute, exercised their right of first refusal, and purchased the dealership from Al instead of us, and gave it to Mr. Williams, who operated it until the year 2000. So 2000 came about, Williams wasn't doing very well. General Motors came to us and asked if we would step in and also bring an Oldsmobile dealership that we had on the other side of town and put the two together. See, it looked like a match made in heaven. It was 8 years later from when we thought we had the dealership in 1992. So it was a classic duel. But less than 6 months later, General Motors announced that Oldsmobile would be no more. Oldsmobile was gone. So now what do we do? Now what are we going to do with that big building with just Cadillac? So we pivoted, moved in another classic GM nameplate, the Great American Automobile, Buick. So now we have Cadillac and Buick. And then 2 years later, we added another nameplate, the Hummer, everyone's favorite oversized vehicle. Who wasn't amazed by those big H2s, those big yellow vehicles that drove down the street? And we did a lot of golf outings where we gave away a Hummer for a weekend if you got closest to the pin, things like that. But love the people, and I would just, as a sidelight, when I would take, especially the big yellow one, home for a weekend and drive it, it was just a neat vehicle to drive. Neighbors would come over. People that still didn't like, people that didn't like me would come over and say, can we just take that out for a spin? And of course I'd let them do it, and then they never talked to me again. But it was just, the Hummer was it drew people. It drew people. But I think it was a victim of its own success, because then in 2009, the GM announced that Hummer would be discontinued. I think there was just at that point, there was some backlash from environmentalists, and which I understand. when it only got 9 miles to the gallon. So if you were at one part of Overland Park and drove to the other and back, at that point, gas was also $4 to $5 a gallon. Could cost you $10 just to take a 20-mile trip. But we lost Hummer. Now what do? Strange plan B that we had, we acquired a Saab franchise that was available, that was out here, that had some problems. So it was a GM franchise. Many people don't realize that Saab was actually at that time a GM franchise. So we took Saab, and within a year, Saab was gone. So we were not having the greatest of luck trying to keep that building filled. And as you remember, the Hummer building, it didn't have a lot, it was very specific. It had that big H at the entrance. So you figure, what are we gonna do with this? Gonna be a Honda dealership? It's something which we couldn't do because Tom Waymeyer had that right down the street. But we knew we had a need for another franchise after we built that building. Needed something. So lo and behold, June of 2012, we ended up acquiring Tom Waymeyer's GMC franchise. And this, though, would turn out to be the solution we were looking for. At this point, we still have GMC. So we had to convert the building. Many of you have seen the building. You wouldn't remember, many of you, the way it looks now, wouldn't remember how it looked as a Hummer building, because we did put it in. It's a fairly interesting building. So if you haven't been down 159th Street recently, take a look at it. It's actually one of my favorite buildings is the Buick GMC building. And a few years after that, General Motors did come to us a few months after we got the GMC, and they wanted us to do some remodeling. And that's where I say that not more big time remodeling. We knocked out the whole front of both buildings and put new fronts and renovated the insides. Your planners were great. At that point, I have to say, everybody, from the fire department to the village planners, everyone worked very well. And we have I even had Mike Benhausen tell me one time that the Cadillac building was his favorite building on the street. So when you get that from somebody else, it's you feel like you've had some success. So we completely redid our facilities. The village worked very well with us and very well during the construction. So we've always considered the village a true business partner, and we consider our relationship a vital part of the success. So the people of Tinley Park and the surrounding suburbs are really the backbone of our business. And we look forward to a long, healthy, prosperous relationship for both us and Tinley Park for many, many years to come. And we are proud to call Tinley Park our home. Thank you. Now, I don't know if we clap or Mike, do we take questions now?
Sure, does Mr. Benthausen still feel that that's the best looking building now?
Well, then he went and built that cheap building, and I won't admit, yeah, that was a few years ago before he renovated. Okay, but thanks.
Does anyone have anything they want to say to Dan?
Congratulations. Thanks for being here so long.
No, thank you. We've, as you can tell, we had some trials and tribulations, but I think we've got it. We've got something that's going to work for quite a few years now.
Good.
So,
Thanks, Dan.
thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Dan. Appreciate all you guys do for Tinley, too.
Yeah, thank you very much. And then now we'll wait here. I'm number 6 on the agenda now. 3 and 6.
Item number 4, consider appointing Denise Lopez to the position of building permit technician effective December 15, 2020. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Thank you, sir. Do I
Second.
have a second?
Second.
Redden. Trustee Moore.
Thank you. Human Resources conducted a search and received 58 applications that were shortlisted to 7. Interviews were conducted by a panel of Community Development Management and Human Resources. Following these interviews, Denise Lopez was identified as the best candidate for this position. She has 13 years of municipal experience in planning, engineering, and public works department. Consider appointing Denise Lopez to the position of building permit technician. Anyone like to add to that?
Spoke with Kimberly today. She's very excited to get boots on the ground, so we're looking
Good
forward
job
to
on
it.
that, Kimberly and Mike. Clerk Darian, could you call the roll, please?
Roll call for item number 4, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Thank you, motion carries. Item number 5, consider approval of the following consent agenda items. Clerk Darian, could you please read these into the record?
Item A, consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-125, authorizing the conveyance of real estate to Will County for highway purposes, parcel 0042 and temporary easement. Item B, consider approving the 2021 regular village board meeting, committee of the whole, and standing committee meeting schedule. Item C, consider request from American Legion, Post 615, to conduct a Queen of Hearts raffle from January 7th, 2021 to December 21st, 2021, with the maximum of the prize not to exceed $250,000. Winners will be drawn at the American Legion, Post 615, 17423 67th Court, each Thursday at 7 o'clock p.m. Item D, consider request from the Crisis Center for South Suburbia to conduct a raffle through February 20th, 2021, with the winner being drawn on that day at Family Harvest Church, 18500 92nd Avenue. And lastly, item E, consider payments of outstanding bills in the amount of $1,886,321.42 as listed on the vendor board approval report dated December 4th and December 11th, 2020.
Thank you, Kristen. Would anyone from the board care to remove any of these agenda items? No? Do we have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Bill and Bill. Clerk Darian, could you call the roll, please?
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 6, this is Dan McMillan's again. Trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-080, amending ordinance 2018-0-066 to allow for a side illuminated projection sign at 6701 to 6755 South Street.
Do you have a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Bill. Go ahead, Mike.
The specific request is to amend the variation approving the original projection sign. The variation was approved with the understanding that the sign would not be illuminated, and the developer is now requesting for the letters on the sign to be side lit. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on December 3rd, 2020, and voted 8-0 to unanimously recommend the proposed amendment for approval to the village board. This ordinance is eligible for adoption tonight.
Thank you, Mike. Dan, would you like to add anything?
Well, yeah.
Are you out of breath, or are you good?
Yeah, not that, do I have to be sworn in or anything?
Nope.
At this point, okay. But I just wanted to thank everyone. This has been a long, this isn't really just because of the sign, but this has been a long, we started this back in 2004 with the acquisition of the property, and then we went through some different trials and tribulations, went through a recession, and we finally got it right. Many of you, we were in here quite a few times. We worked it out. We've got everything put together. And I don't know if you've driven by lately, but the building, we've almost got it sealed up for the winter, and we're going to just be working inside throughout the winter. As you guys know, we think we've got a winner for our first retail client, our first retail tenant. Will be coming in, talk to him today. So Ed Nemick was here, I think, last week or 2 weeks ago, and he's looking forward to getting started early next spring in terms of being able to serve. We look to be moving people in next March, so into phase 1, and then that'll springboard into phase 2. But I think this sign, which I think is a win-win for everybody, which will be well lit and will be seen from Oak Park Avenue, everyone will be excited about it. So just wanted to once again thank everyone, the village planners, and everyone on the board for their support throughout the past number of years. And you're not getting rid of us because it's going to take us 2 or 3 years to get everything done in that area. But we will get it done, and you're going to have something that you can be proud of, that we'll be proud of. So, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan.
Thank you, Dan.
Anyone from the board have any questions or anything they want to say? Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Roll call for item number 6, trustee Berg.
That's a no. The only thing I'd like to see on that sign is condos.
You never know, things get converted, things change.
Please, can we consider that?
Things change.
Thank you.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes,
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
motion carries. Thank you. Item 7, trustee Mueller again.
I move we consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-127, authorizing the Village of Tinley Park to seek Class 8 certification for certain property in the Village of Tinley Park, Cook and Will County, Illinois, referred to as Duvan Industrial Park by the Office of the Cook County Assessor.
Do you have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Bill. Go ahead, Mike.
The village is looking to recertify the Duvan Drive Industrial Park as Class 8 eligible with Cook County. The designation is only valid for 5 years and cannot be renewed, and can be renewed for additional 5 years. This area has been previously approved in 2007 with the renewal in 2012. The designation expired in 2017. However, conditions still exist that impede the marketability and viability of this area. Due to this industrial park's close proximity to Will County, the differential in business property taxes between Will and Cook counties continues to be a significant issue that continues to affect marketability of these properties. The area still requires assistance via the Cook County program to support the continued revitalization of the area. The item was discussed at the Economic and Commercial Commission Committee on December 14th, 2020, where they voted 8-0 to recommend approval to this board, and reviewed by the Committee of the Whole prior to this meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption tonight.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions from the board? Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Roll call for item number 7, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes,
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
motion carries. Item number 8, trustee Mueller again.
I move we consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-128, approving a Cook County Class 6B SER reclassification for the property located at 17532 Duvan Drive.
I'll second it.
Thank you, Bill.
Thanks, Bill. This resolution provides support for the Cook County Class 6B SER incentive to Duvan Acquisition LLC, who's leasing the property to Cabinet Wholesale Supply, Inc., a related entity. This resolution includes a redevelopment agreement that addresses the improvements that must be completed. If those items are not met, this village can choose to revoke the reclassification. The item was discussed at the Economic and Commercial Commission on December 14th, 2020, where they voted 8-0 to recommend it to this board, and the Committee of the Whole meeting just prior to this meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption tonight.
Thank you, Mike. Are there any questions from the board? Clerk Fury, can you please call the roll?
Roll call for item number 8, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Item number 9, trustee Miller.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-081, granting a special use for heritage site mixed-use building at 16820 Oak Park Avenue.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Thanks, Bill. Go ahead, Mike.
The petitioner, on behalf of MedPro Health Providers LLC, is seeking to convert the property at 16820 Oak Park Avenue, zoned NG, Neighborhood General, from a single-family home into a mixed-use building. The proposal allows for the redevelopment of a structure from the relocation of an existing Tinley Park business office and a 2-bedroom apartment on the second floor. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on December 3rd, 2020, and voted 8-0 to recommend approval of the special use, with conditions in accordance with the plans as listed in the listed reviews, plans, and findings of fact in the staff report. This ordinance is also eligible for adoption tonight.
Thank you, Mike. I think I missed a name on there, but that's okay.
I couldn't pronounce
Is
that.
there any questions for the board?
Liz Villas Senior.
Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Roll call for item number 9, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Item number 10, you get another shot at it.
There we
Go
go.
ahead, Mike.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-082, granting variations from the zoning ordinance for the property located at 16820 Oak Park Avenue.
Second,
Second.
go ahead, Mike.
Thanks, guys.
Go ahead, Mike.
The petitioner, Riz, on behalf of MedPro Health Providers LLC, is seeking 3 variations related to the creation of a mixed-use building on a property located at 16820 Oak Park Avenue in the Neighborhood General Zoning District. The variations include the investment threshold for a heritage site, covered residential parking, and minimum dwelling size requirements. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on December 3rd, 2020, and voted 8-0 to recommend approval of the 3 variations and adopted the findings of fact in accordance with the plans as listed in the listed reviewed plans as indicated in the staff report. This ordinance is also eligible for adoption tonight.
Good job, Mike. There's one more shot at it.
Yeah.
Any questions from the board? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll for Mike?
Roll call for item number 10, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Last one, item number 11, trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-129, approving and accepting the 2020 Holdings Plat of Subdivision for the property located at 16820 Oak Park Avenue.
You have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Cindy. Go ahead, Mike.
The petitioner, and I'm going to have the clerk help me out with the,
Riz Villasenor.
there we go. On behalf of MedPro Health Providers LLC, has requested final plat approval associated with the mixed-use redevelopment on a site located at 16820 Oak Park Avenue in the Neighborhood General Zoning District. The Plan Commission reviewed the final plat of subdivision with the recommended conditions and voted 8-0 to recommend approval. This resolution is eligible for adoption tonight.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions from the board? Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Roll call for item number 11, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Item number 12, trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-130, approving and accepting the plat of consolidation for the property located at 17201 Ridgeland Avenue.
I'll second that.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you,
Go
Bill.
ahead, Mike.
The petitioner, George Modrovic, on behalf of IBD Corp., has requested approval of the plat of consolidation for his 3 lots. The Plan Commission voted 6-0 to recommend approval of this plat. This resolution is eligible for adoption tonight.
Any questions from the board? Madam Clerk, could you call the roll, please?
Roll call for item number 12, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 13, trustee Mueller, do you want a break?
No, I keep going. I have 3 more. I move we consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-083, granting text amendments to the Village of Tinley Park zoning ordinance to permit medical offices as a special use in the MU-1 zoning district.
Second?
Go ahead, Mike.
Thanks, Bill. The proposed text amendment allows for a business and professional offices, including medical, to be permitted with a special use permit in the MU-1 mixed-use Duvan Drive overlay district. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on December 3rd, 2020, and voted 8-0 to unanimously recommend the proposed text amendments for approval to the village board. Due to the time constraints associated with the request, it has been recommended that this typical first reading be waived on this text amendment. This ordinance is eligible for adoption with that waiving.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions from the board? Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Roll call for item number 13, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 14, trustee Mueller.
I move we consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-084, granting text amendments to the Village of Tinley Park zoning ordinance to regulate emergency-related temporary uses.
Second.
I'll second it.
Thanks, Bill. Go ahead, Mike.
The proposed text amendment provides for temporary uses related to emergencies or disasters such as COVID-19 testing. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on December 3rd, 2020, and voted 8-0 to unanimously recommend the proposed text amendments for approval to the village board. Staff requests the first reading be waived for this text amendment as well. This ordinance is eligible for adoption with the waiving.
Thank you, Mike. Is there any questions from the board on this? Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Roll call for item number 14, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes,
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
motion carries. Item number 15, trustee Mueller's last one.
Last one. I move we consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-085, granting a special use for a medical office to permit NAS testing center at 7460 Duvan Drive.
Second.
Thank you, Cindy. Go ahead, Mike.
Thank you. The petitioner, Amir Swez, on behalf of NAS Testing Center, is proposing a drive-through COVID-19 and medical testing facility at 7460 Duvan Drive in the MU-1 zoning district. The Plan Commission held a public hearing on December 3rd, 2020, and voted 8-0 to recommend approval of the special use with conditions in accordance with the plans as listed in the listed reviewed plans and findings of fact in the staff report. This ordinance is eligible for adoption tonight.
Thank you, Mike. Any questions from the board? Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll?
Roll call for item number 15, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 16, trustee Brady.
Yes, I'd like to have the board consider adopting Resolution 2020 R131, authorizing a renewal of a maintenance agreement with Meridian IT for Cisco products used in the village's computer system.
Second.
Go ahead, Bill.
The annual Cisco maintenance license agreement allows the village to receive rapid support on software and hardware issues, receive the latest patches, and avoid high transitional fees due to failures and feature keys to preserve the network security. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Bill. Any questions from the board? Madam Clerk, could you call the roll, please?
Roll call for item number 16, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 17, trustee Brennan.
Thank you, trustee Glatz. I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting resolution 2020-R-132, approving a collective bargaining agreement between the Village of Tinley Park and its patrol officers, represented by the Metropolitan Alliance of Police, Tinley Park Chapter 192.
Second. Go ahead, Bill.
Thank you. The prior collective bargaining agreement expired on April 30th, 2020. Following negotiations, an agreement was reached earlier this month. All necessary changes have been made and reviewed by the village and the union. Patrol officers will receive a 2% increase retroactive to May 1st, 2020, 2% for fiscal year 2022, 2.25% for fiscal year 2023, and 2.55% for fiscal year 2024. Employee insurance premium contributions will increase to 11% in 2021 and 12% in 2022. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Bill. Anyone from the board have any questions? I just want to add on this, thank you to Dave Niemeyer, our finance team, Brad, Andrew, and our attorneys, PJM, on the hard work you guys put into this contract. You guys have been very diligent in this and getting us all the information we needed and talking to them, so I appreciate it. Thank you. Madam Clerk, can you call the roll for the police contract?
Roll call for item number 17, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 18, I'll make a motion to consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-086, amending Title 11, Chapter 112, Section 20K2 of the Tinley Park Municipal Code, amending Class K1 liquor license requirements.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Mike. The village currently has 2 liquor license classifications for establishments operating as a banquet event space. A recent liquor license request for a banquet space has prompted review of this section of the code, specifically in terms of catering, to ensure the best fit for current and future requests. This ordinance removes the requirement for the K1 license holder to be the sole caterer for all events. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole on November 17, 2020. This ordinance is eligible for adoption. Any questions from the board? I just want to add, for staff, Hannah, great job on this. You've dealt with more different types of liquor licenses and gaming than probably anyone across the state of Illinois. Thank you. Madam Clerk, you call the roll.
Roll call for item number 18. Trustee Berg.
Abstain.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 19. I'll make a motion to consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-087, increasing the number of Class K1 liquor licenses that can be issued in the village, the Whistle Events and Catering, WEC, 7537 West 159th Street. Have a second?
I'll second that.
Thank you, Bill. The ordinance amends the municipal code to increase the number of Class K1 liquor licenses by 1 and awards that license to the Whistle Events and Catering, also known as WEC, located at 7537 West 159th Street. The Class K1 license authorizes the retail sale of liquor in conjunction with banquet functions of less than 250 people. This item was discussed at the Committee of the Whole, held on November 17, 2020. This ordinance is eligible for adoption. Any questions from the board? Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Roll call for item number 19. Trustee Berg.
Abstain.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 20, Trustee Brady.
I'd like to have the board consider adopting ordinance 2020-088, amending Title 11, Chapter 110, Section 28 of the Village of Tinley Park's Code of Ordinances, appropriation of fees.
Second.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Bill.
Title 11, Chapter 110, Section 28 of the Village Municipal Code discusses the proration of business license fees for applicants who apply at any given time throughout the calendar year. This ordinance eliminates the proration of business license fees, which is inconsistent with other village licensing policies. The business license fees are typically no more than $300 and do not warrant proration due to the underlying cost of issuance and other activities associated with business licensing. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Bill. Any questions from the board? Madam Clerk, can you call the roll, please?
Roll call for item number 20. Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item number 21, Trustee Brennan.
Thank you, Trustee Glatz. I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-126, authorizing the conveyance of real estate to Will County for highway purposes.
Second.
Thank you, Bill. Will County needs to purchase .493 acres of land for the 80th Avenue widening project that is adjacent to the Public Works building and owned by the village. As a result of the purchase, the village will have to relocate 4 utility poles and 6 parking spaces. The county also will need 1.479 acres of temporary easement for construction. The village will be compensated $132,500, which includes $100,000 for the fair market value of the property according to an appraisal, and $32,500 for the temporary easement. The county will also put $144,075 in a construction escrow for the parking area and a fence along 80th Avenue. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Bill.
Yep.
Any questions from the board? Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Roll call for item number 21. Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 22, trustee Galante.
I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-071, levying taxes for the corporate purposes for the Village of Tinley Park, Illinois, 2020 tax levy year.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Diane.
Thank you. The property tax levy request for 2020 will be set at $28,143,499. The amount represents a 2.8 increase over the previous year's request tax levy dollars. Since the overall levy increase is less than 5% of the prior year's extended levy, publication of a truth in taxation notice, the black box, and the public hearing are not required. The amount of the levy was reviewed and determined at the Committee of the Whole meeting held on December 1st. This ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Okay, anyone from the board have anything to say? I just want to make sure we're clear. It's 2.08 increase. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Roll call for item number 22. Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 23, trustee Galante.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt ordinance 2020-0-072, abating a portion of the 2020 tax levy requirements as provided for in the bond order dated March 3rd, 2009. In connection with the issuance of the $10,235,000 general obligation refunding and improvement bonds, Series 2009 of the Village of Tinley Park and Cook and Will Counties, Illinois.
Is there a second?
Second?
Go ahead, Diane.
The 2020 tax levy for this bond issues is established at $1,113,870, and the village is in a position to abate $763,870 of this levy from the following sources and amounts. From the Water and Sewer Revenue Fund, $376,644.20. From the Tax Bond Stabilization Fund, $283,125.80. From the Saks Capital Projects Fund, $104,100. The net levy of the bonds issue will be $350,000. The abated items were provided at the Committee of the Whole meeting held on November 17, 2020, and this ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you. Anyone from the board have any questions? Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Roll call for item number 23. Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item 24, trustee Galante.
I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-073, abating a portion of the 2020 tax levy requirements as provided for in the bond order date August 16, 2011, in connection with the issuance of $5,940,000 general obligation refunding bonds, Series 2011 of the Village of Tinley Park, Cook, and Will Counties, Illinois Library.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Go ahead.
The 2020 tax levy of the bond issue is established at $660,800, and the village is in a position to abate $150,000 of this levy from the village's surplus tax projects fund. The net levy will be $510,800 for this bond issue. The debt service item appears as part of the levy for the Tinley Park Public Library. The abated items were provided for at the Committee of the Whole meeting held on November 17, 2020, and this ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Diane. Any questions from the board? Madam Clerk, you please call the roll.
Roll call for item number 24, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 25, trustee Galante.
I'd like to make a motion adopting ordinance 2020-0-074, abating all of the 2020 tax levy requirements as required, as provided for in the bond order dated June 5th, 2013, in connection with the issuance of $11,340,000 general obligation bond series 2013 of the Village of Tinley Park, Cook, and Will Counties, Illinois.
For a second?
I'll second it.
Go ahead, Diane.
Thank you. The 2020 tax levy requirement of this bond issue is established at $973,650, and the village is in a position to abate the entire amount of this levy from the following sources and amounts. From the Hotel Motel Tax Fund, Oak Park Avenue TIF, $389,460. From the Surplus Capital Project Fund, $417,247.96. From the Water and Sewer Fund, $139,085.91. From the Stormwater Management Fund, $17,399.13. And from the Main Street South TIF, $10,457,000. The abated items were provided at the Committee of the Whole meeting held on November 17, 2020, and this ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Diane. Any questions from the board or the public? Madam Clerk, you call the roll, please.
Roll call for item number 25, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Item number 26, trustee Galante.
I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting ordinance 2020-0-075, abating a portion of the tax levy, 2020 Village of Tinley Park property tax extended for 18501 Convention Center Drive, Tinley Park, Will County, Illinois, the development incentive agreement for the Tinley Park Hotel and Convention Center.
Second.
Thank you, Cindy. Go ahead, Diane.
In July of 2017, the Village of Tinley Park entered into agreements with the Elementary School District 159, with the Rich Township High School District 227, and the Harp Group, Inc., related to the hotel property located at 18501 Convention Center Drive and attached to the village's Convention Center facility. The Harp Group purchased a hotel property and requested assistance with regard to the significant property tax bill for this location. Under these agreements, the three governments, Village 159 and 227, will abate 50% of the respective government's property taxes extended for the property for a period of 10 years, or cumulative and collective $4 million in abatements, whichever comes first. This ordinance represents a third year of abatement, and a copy of the ordinance will be filed with the Cook County Clerk. The two school districts will provide similar direction for their respective abatements in the Cook County Clerk. The abatement items were provided at the Committee of the Whole meeting held on November 17, 2020, and this ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Diane. Anyone from the board have any questions? Anyone from the public? Madam Clerk, you please call off the roll.
Roll call for item number 26, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you. Item 27, trustee Galante.
Thank you. I'd like to make a motion adopting ordinance 2020-0-076, abating a portion of the Village of Tinley Park's tax year 2020 property tax extended for 8451 183rd Place, Tinley Park, Will County, Illinois, for Surface Shield, Inc. inducement agreement.
I'll second.
In July of 2017, the Village Board approved Resolution 2017-R-039, abating an inducement agreement for the Surface Shield, Inc. to locate its manufacturing facility to Tinley Park. Under this agreement, provided that the company met or exceeded a certain benchmark, the village would abate 50% of the property taxes extended for the Village of Tinley Park for a period of 4 years. The company has met the requirements of the inducement agreement and is eligible for the tax abatement as provided under the agreement. This ordinance represents the third year of abatements under the inducement agreement, and the ordinance will direct the Will County Clerk to abate 50% of the property tax extended against the property. The abatement items were provided at the committee of the whole meeting held on November 17, 2020, and this ordinance is eligible for adoption.
Thank you, Diane. Any questions from the board? Madam Clerk, you please call the roll.
Roll call for item number 27, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes,
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
motion carries. Thank you. Item 28. Trustee Brennan.
Thank you, Trustee Glatz. I'd like to make a motion to consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-133, approving a contract between the Village of Tinley Park and Aries, Inc. for Post 4 improvements at 8499 Brookside Glen Drive.
Thank you. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Thank you, Mike.
Go ahead, Doug.
This project includes the replacement of the control panel, replacement of the building, and upgrading the outdated electrical components currently in use at Post 4 Sanitary Sewer Lift Station. Consider awarding a contract to Aries, Inc. in the amount of $598,042. This item was approved at the December 1st, 2020 Committee of the Whole meeting. This resolution is eligible for adoption.
Thanks, Bill. Any questions from the board? Questions from the public? Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Roll call for item number 28, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes,
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
motion carries. Item 29, I am not going to do. We're going to turn it over to Trustee Brady since he's in that nice shirt and tie and mask.
Well, I would like to have the board consider adopting Resolution 2020-R-124, providing for and authorizing the landing rights to Santa Claus in the Village of Tinley Park, Cook and Will County, Illinois.
I'll second that motion.
Thank you.
Go ahead, Bill.
Andrew, this resolution would allow the necessary approvals for Santa Claus to land in Tinley Park as often as deemed appropriate. You want me to read the resolution? Is eligible for adoption? You want to hear it?
Absolutely.
All
That's
righty.
what you're going to do.
Whereas the United States Federal Aviation Authority, more commonly referred to as the FAA, is responsible for all flights and landing operations in the continental United States and therefore requires precise coordination for any and all domestic flying. And whereas in the past 64 years, thousands of man-made objects have been thrown into the atmosphere around this planet, therefore further complicating the safe maneuver and movement of any flying machine and/or sleighs. Whereas the Illinois State Department of Aviation directs the local authorities establish the necessary approval for any flights to land within the state, except as registered airports. And whereas the sheriffs of Cook and Will counties further delegate that authority where properly approved to municipalities and those counties. And whereas any miniature sleigh with 8 tiny reindeer shall designate the first reindeer to responding to landing signals and his blinking red nose, and whereas said sleigh should be full of toys, will not exceed the air travel weight or load limit, and whereas the driver shall be jolly old self himself, outstanding character, and shall have in his possession a good flying record. Now therefore, be it resolved that the Village Board of Tinley Park represents the great citizens of our community, provides Santa Claus with all the approvals necessary in what other order required to land at the homes as often he deems appropriate, while wearing a mask, participating in social distancing, and using hand sanitizer between each home on Thursday evening, December 24th, and Friday morning, December 25th of 2020. Be it further resolved that the Police Department, Public Works Department, and other municipal agencies shall provide speedy and helpful assistance to guarantee St. Nick's movement throughout the world. This is passed on the 15th day of December, 2020, by the village president and the Board of Trustees and their village clerk. Ho, ho, ho.
Thank you, Bill.
Thank you, Santa.
Way to go, go, go.
Anyone have any questions for Bill?
Uh-oh.
This I gotta hear.
Saint Nick himself.
Madam Clerk, could you call the roll, please?
Roll call for item number 29. Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Absolutely.
Trustee Brennan.
Absolutely, yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Absolutely.
Motion carries on Bill's sled.
Thanks for getting us in the holiday spirit here.
No problem.
Item 30, receive comments from staff.
Just a quick one. Our next meeting with the calendar, we can do January 19th. We do not have a lot of business on the 5th, and so we are looking to schedule on the 19th, and happy holidays to all.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you.
Yes, Andrew? Okay. Just checking. Anyone else?
I'll just chime in real quick. I've had a lot of feedback from the various establishments in town who received the liquor license waivers, and they are very appreciative and just wanted to pass along their thanks to the board for doing that.
Great. Very good. Brad? Anything you want to add? Anything you want to add?
I have nothing to add at this time, thank you.
Item 31, receive comments.
Excuse me, did you check with Greg?
Greg?
We're good, thank you, sir.
Okay. Thanks, Bill. Laura? Item number 31, receive comments from the board. I would just like to wish everyone a Merry Christmas. Drive safely, be careful, and enjoy time with your family. Anyone else from the board?
I'd like just to say thank you to the staff, to everybody involved with the Christmas lights, doing the tree lighting was beautiful. Everything was been really nice down there. Even saw the volleyball team for Andrew is in the running for a TikTok award for a video they did over there one night. Tinley Wish was amazing again, watching that. Want to say thank you to all the staff for adapting this year and making changes for the community to still bring the events that we could. Really was needed for people. And just for myself, it's been a pleasure serving this community this year, and I look forward to post-COVID next year doing even more.
Thank you. Anyone else?
I'd just like to mention too, that the wreaths look great out there on our entranceway to the village. Wreaths look very nice, nice addition.
Glad you're happy.
Agreed.
Anyone else?
I'd just like to want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Want to see if Brad's going to be in tomorrow and where I can get one of those suits.
I think he's growing out of it.
With that, I will move on to item number 32, receive comments from the public. You want to do you have a anonymous caller?
I do.
Is it Santa?
I'm hearing sleigh bells.
Too close, so it'll get muffled. What? 1 second, Steve.
It is.
One second. You're not answering, or did you? You did not? Okay. So let the record reflect, Laura Gadet called the anonymous caller that sent in an email asking to stay anonymous, and they did not answer the phone for Laura Gadet.
And the 4 rings.
The 4 rings, thank you.
Thanks, Laura.
And then before we start public comment, Mr. Eberhard. Mr. Vandenberg, Mayor Vandenberg usually runs these meetings and has set the order and decorum for meetings that the board has been following. So therefore, we are gonna follow the rules that the mayor has set in place. And just in case I miss anything, Counselor Conley, do you want to add anything before Mr. Eberhard speaks?
Yeah, we are under the village's temporary rule policy, so as we did, we went through it last time, it's 3 minutes to speak. The speaker may request more time, that's a decision for the board. If the request is made for more time, you need a motion, second, and a vote on that, otherwise there's 3 minutes.
Laura, you can start the clock. Mr. Eberhard, the floor is yours.
I would like the 3 additional
Hold on
minutes
1
that,
second, sir. Laura, will you stop the clock? You're requesting,
I would like the 3 additional minutes that was very courteously afforded 2 speakers at the last board meeting.
So, there's a request for the additional 3 minutes. Is there a motion to grant that 3 minutes?
I'll make that motion.
There's a motion, is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded.
Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Yep, this is on the additional 3 minutes.
So we are voting on a motion by trustee Galante and a second by trustee Berg to give Steve an extra 3 minutes. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
No.
Trustee Brennan.
No.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Trustee Glatz.
No.
Trustee Mueller.
No.
Motion fails. Laura, you can start the clock.
Your comments aside, Mayor Pro Tem Glatz, it's really irrelevant. As Judge Alana Rovner noted in her concurring opinion in Jefferson versus Ambrose, society's interest in the officers of government is not strictly limited to the formal discharge of duties. This was a follow-up to the United States Supreme Court's comments in the Gertz case, noting that the public's interest extends to anything which might touch on an official's fitness for office, and few personal attributes are more germane to fitness for office than dishonesty, malfeasance, or improper motives. Thus, there are a wealth of relevant topics to discuss with regard to Glatz, his colleagues, and their corruption. At a board meeting last year, Glatz made it a point to compliment the clerk and the FOIA officer about the wonderful job they were doing. He failed to mention that at that time there were at least a dozen FOIA matters under investigation by the Attorney General and a number of FOIA cases pending in court. I previously noted that on April 30th, 2020, the Attorney General sent the village a determination letter reminding everyone that public records contained on private electronic devices must be produced under FOIA. There were no records to produce because Mr. Carr acknowledged that he deletes text messages on a daily basis. This is a blatant violation of the Local Records Act. On August 18th, the Attorney General sent the village another determination letter, finding that the village did not demonstrate that it performed a reasonable search for public records and directed the village to make a proper search and supplemental response to me. Glatz and Carr were involved here too. Despite multiple letters to the village attorney, the village still refuses to follow the directions of the PAC. On August 27, 2020, the PAC sent yet another determination letter disagreeing with the village's position about what or who is a person under the definitions of FOIA and advising the village to produce records to Tinley Sparks. The village attorney fabricated a legal position used to refuse production of public records that was rejected by the PAC. A Cook County judge wrote in a FOIA case that the village failed to advance any cogent argument to support the village's position. So when Glatz cries and lies about the cost of FOIAs and litigation, the cost is simply generated by the corrupt motives of these individuals. One of the big things that was always sought in these FOIAs was what's contained in those text messages and emails. Well, I'm going to drop off, so the village is now in possession of some of these that was sent by Michael Glatz messenger.
Mr. Eberhard, your
Needs
time
to
is
be
up.
with
Mr. Eberhard,
village,
Mr.
Mr.
Eberhard, your time is up.
FOIA
Mr.
away,
Eberhard,
ladies
your
and
time is up.
gentlemen. Thank you.
Good night. Is there any other comments from the public?
Good evening.
Good
Any
evening.
before you continue. Can you reiterate again?
Sure, we are under the temporary rules. The emergency meeting temporary rules, which for 3 minutes, if you'd like 3 minutes more, it would have to be requested now and granted upon motion, second, and vote of the board.
Thanks. I would like to request an additional 3 minutes, please.
So we have the request, just as we had a moment ago, for additional 3 minutes. We need a motion, second, and a vote. Is there a motion?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
So you have a motion to approve the 3 minutes request with a second. Call vote.
And clerk, call the roll.
Trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
No.
Trustee Galante.
No.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
No.
Trustee Mueller.
No.
Is that 4-2 or 3-3?
Motion fails.
Motion fails.
4-2.
Nancy, you have 3 minutes.
Yeah, thanks. Sorry, I had to turn around. It sounded like there was, anyway.
Laura, can you start the clock, please? Thank you.
Yep, so unfortunately, I missed the committee of the whole meeting. I see that there's a resolution for, is it using the old emissions location? Was that on the committee of the whole or the regular board meeting? Sorry, I came in late.
It was just the board meeting,
I'm sorry?
just the board.
Can you speak
Well,
up
I
a
guess
little?
my question
Can you
is,
pull the mic to you a little bit? Thank you.
my question is just, if that is allowed to take place, where that location is going to be used as a COVID testing center, and I know it's state-owned, obviously, but there will be no liability to the village if there's any issue with something, or just there's a hold harmless in that? Just, I don't know if anybody can answer that or not. It was just a concern I had that, it's not, that we don't become responsible for something that could possibly go wrong, is all.
Pat or Dave, does anyone want to?
I could, just generally, the granting of a special use.
Property.
That-
Sorry?
Not state-owned property.
I'm sorry?
It's not a state-owned property.
Oh, it's not.
The granting of a special use, I don't think, we grant them all the time.
Mhm.
Just because we grant a special use to allow that use doesn't attach liability to us automatically. I don't know enough about the provider and our
Mhm.
relationship with them, but, just that, what was voted on tonight, the special use, wouldn't automatically create any type of liability that I can see, so.
Okay. Okay, that was just the concern I had for it because of, there's just so many odd things about COVID and all of that. That's it, Okay, thanks, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else care to address the board? Greg, second chance.
Merry Christmas.
Same to you, sir.
Officer King says Merry Christmas. So Pat, what do you want to do about item 33 is to consider approval of a request by the following village board members to attend the executive session by remote electronic means for President Vandenberg. He's not here. How do you want to?
Same way, yeah, I think we need a motion, second.
So, well, even though he's not here? He's not,
I think he wants to.
he's absent.
not requesting it anymore.
Oh, he doesn't even want to press it. Oh, okay. Don't need to consider the item.
Motion to remove it?
You don't need to call it.
Just pass on by?
If the mayor no longer has that request, I'd say we move on.
Thank you. So, for the record, item number 33, the mayor has requested not to call in for executive session and is not present. Item 34. Motion to adjourn to executive, sorry, 1 second, need the screen for this one. Motion to adjourn to executive session to discuss the following. A, the purchase or lease of real property for the use of the public body, including meeting held for the purpose of discussing whether a particular parcel should be acquired. B, collective negotiating matters between the public body and its employees or their representatives, for deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employees. C, litigation, when an action against, affecting, or on behalf of the particular public body has been filed and is pending before a court or administrative tribunal, or when the public body finds that an action is probable or imminent, in which case the basis for the finding shall be recorded and entered into the minutes of the closed meeting. D, discussion of the minutes of the meetings lawfully closed under this act, whether for the purpose of approval by the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes as mandated by section 2.06. And E, the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the public body or legal counsel for the public body, including hearing testimony on a complaint lodged against any employee of the public body or against legal counsel for the public body to determine its validity. Do I have a motion for all those items?
So moved.
Thank you, Cindy.
Second.
Thank you. Was that Bill Brady?
Yes, sir.
Trustee Bill Brady was the second. Madam Clerk, can you please call the roll?
Motion to adjourn, trustee Berg.
Yes.
Trustee Brady.
Yes.
Trustee Brennan.
Yes.
Trustee Galante.
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Glatz.
Yes.
Trustee Mueller.
Yes.
Yes, we are adjourned at 8:45 PM. Thank you, everybody. We will not be coming back. Have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.